2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait, I got my feet mixed up. Well, I know, but it's easier with tentacles. Well, yeah, there's more to keep track of, but you've been doing this longer.
Oh, hi. I was just responding to emails. Hey, Lorna, it's MFYBAL time.
Oh, hold on. Spud's teaching me some new moves. Gotta go.
Hi. Welcome to Monster Feet Yarn Bomb Along week 3. This week, we're going to be working on the feet, the main part of the foot, part of the feet pattern. You should have, from week 2,
Ooh.
some toes.
4 per foot.
And if you don't worry, because it's never too late to join along, right?
Right. You can jump in at any time. And you know what? You can ask a friend to join in. You could gift the pattern to a friend. And you could even teach someone to crochet and use the MFYBAL to teach someone to crochet. There's someone in the forum who's doing that. It's pretty cool.
Or you could jump ahead. You might be on your second pair of feet. So a lot of people have already finished one pair and are working on a second. Or you can be going right along with us. Up to you. So we have a lot of crochet to do this week, so we're going to keep this part short and jump right in. But first, have you seen anyone modifying the pattern in any way?
Yeah. Actually, I haven't seen anyone make small ones yet, but someone is holding yarn double. So like using 2 strands of worsted yarn as if it were 1 strand and a big 9mm hook. And I think it's Willow Wanderer in the Ravelry forum. And so she's getting huge toes. I think there was a picture of her toes she showed me, her monster foot toes. And it was like, I don't know, it was like filled most of her hands. So those are going to be exciting.
Yeah, it would be cute. Small ones would be cute with smaller hooks and smaller yarn.
Yeah.
For indoors especially, I think, or even outdoors, anywhere.
I'm going to try to make some small ones for installing when we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cute.
see how it looks different. And the hashtag's been filling up.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget to look at the hashtag MFYBAL.
Yeah, especially on Instagram.
YBAL. Yeah.
It's been fun seeing all the fun pictures you guys are taking of your toes and all the different colors. And of course, if you're jumping ahead, it's irresistible to not put them on your feet.
Oh, yeah. So before we get started on the crochet, if there's any feedback anybody has on just like the logistics of the yarn bomb along, let us know. Like, is it going too slow, maybe, is what I'm thinking, or too fast, or just any feedback is welcome.
Yeah, do you like the video tutorials in the forum? Is there something you want us to add, do more of, or do less of? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know and we'll mix it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of mixing it up, let's do some crocheting.
Okay. I don't know why that's mixing it up, but okay. Let's crochet.
You can edit that out. All right, so we are gonna connect the toes. I'm starting with 1 toe, and you'll remember the pattern has you leave the yarn connected after the last toe, but if you broke off the yarn, it's okay, just rejoin it here at the last stitch. So you can see here's the last 2 stitches of the last row of that last toe. So the next one is right here. So this is the first stitch I'm going to be working into. So we're going to continue with 6 half double crochet in this same toe. We're basically putting, wait, I gotta count, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we're basically putting 6 half double crochet in each toe, and then we're going back around and doing 6 more on the other side of the toe. So I'm going to pick up the next toe here, and I'm going to do another 6 half double crochet starting in the next stitch. So you can see here is my last stitch there worked into here, so I'm going to start in this one. And it's a little messy and kind of leaves some gaps here. It's not like the most continuous fabric we're making between the toes, but that's okay because A, it's just a yarn bomb, and B, we are gonna sew close the holes between the toes. So here's 2. Alright, so there you see that's my connection. These are my 6 half double crochet, and I'm continuing over to these first 2 on the toe number 2. So I'll do 4 more. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so that's 6 on toe number 2. I get toe number 3. Find my last stitch here. It's coming out of this one, so we're going to go into this one next. So I'm going to yarn over for a half double crochet, and I'm working into this one. There's 1 half double crochet connecting from toe 2. So I'm finished toe 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and now toe 4. I've seen some people just use 3 toes, so you could totally do that. Here's the last stitch. See what I mean in the last video, how this last stitch kind of pulls apart? One way to stop that is doing an extra little chain stitch before you finish here, and that'll sort of lock that last stitch into place. But it doesn't matter because, like we said, A, it's just a yarn bomb, and B, we're gonna sew it all together. So that last stitch is worked into here, so my next stitch goes right here. And I'm gonna work 6 into toe number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now you can see that we've worked across all 4 toes, and we're starting to make a big round with all the toes. So the foot's just going to be one big round going forward after we connect them all. So to finish the other side of this round, we're going to flip it all over. And you want to make sure that you're not like twisting your toes like this. Sometimes I've twisted them, and again, it's not the end of the world because it's just a yarn bomb. But if you want this to be nice and straight over here, then take care when you're turning. Okay, so we're just going to do 6 in each toe across the other side. So I'm going to continue with 6 on toe number 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. This last one is kind of hard to find, so maybe pull this tight, and that'll help you see that last stitch a little. 6. All right, now look, this is so unwieldy, right? So you may have twisted, so check again, if you care, that this is straight across here, and we're gonna do the next one. So the last one was in this stitch, so the next one's gonna go right here. So I'm going to do 6 half double crochet on the other side of toe number 3 now. 2, 3, 4, 5, and see I keep pulling this last half double crochet to get that stitch in, to make it behave. All right, so that's 6 stitches on toe number 2, or 3, because now we're going backwards. Whatever. Now we'll do the same thing on the next toe. So that is the last one we worked into on the other side. So we're gonna go on this one and work 6. Oh, I got stuck. Oh well. Just gonna go with it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, again, checking that I didn't twist. And I got 6 more. There's the other side, last one. Here's the first one on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we did our first round of the foot to connect all the toes. So you'll see here that we have one big round, and you have these tails from the ends of each toe, and some tails from the beginning of each toe. We can just tuck those in. And the next thing you're going to do is one full round of half double crochet on this entire big joined round. And you'll see there's these little gaps here between the toes, and after we do that one round, we're going to come back and sew those up. So go ahead and finish that round, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I finished a round of half double crochet, and you'll see I'm using a bobby pin as my stitch marker. And one thing to note is that I put it on the first stitch in the round. So this is the first stitch of my next round, and I just leave it there. But note that each time your first stitch in the round is going to shift to the right a little bit. So as you do the foot, this first stitch in the round is going to spiral around this way. And so that's what happens when you're crocheting in the round in a spiral. So when you finish with the foot, we'll take account for that movement of the beginning of your round. So the next step is to sew close the gaps between these toes. So we're just going to need a tapestry needle, put our hook down for a minute, and thread the needle with one of the yarn tails. Make sure you're using the tail that's from near the gap and not the tail that's from the beginning of where you cast on your magic circle. All right, and again, this is just yarn bomb, so just whatever, just make it work. Sew them closed with a simple whip stitch in whatever yarn you want to go through, whatever little stitch. Just cinch it up. I'm having a lot of trouble getting the needle in today. And then maybe you want to make a couple little knots to finish it off. I don't really think it's going anywhere. And now you're officially done with this tail. So you can just ball it up and shove it in the toe. And eventually you'll just put some stuffing on top of it. You don't even have to weave them in. All right, so repeat that for the 2 other gaps. And then you're going to alternate rounds on this big round now. For the rest of the foot, you're going to be alternating a decrease round and a straight round. And I'll meet you at the end of the foot when you finish that. All right, so we've finished the decrease and even rounds of our foot. And you can see what I meant now by the beginning of the round has been shifted this way. So we want to end up in like the middle of the top or the bottom or whatever of the foot. So we want to be between these 2 toes here. So somewhere around here. So we're going to crochet all the way around and stop here. That's about 23 stitches. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that with you guys. Now if you've made some modifications to your feet, or if your feet are different sizes, or if you've done anything differently that makes it not 23 stitches, you'll notice the pattern says, or just get to the top middle of the foot. So that's what we mean, is that you want to be somewhere on the middle of one side. It doesn't matter at this point which side it is. Really, we want to go all the way around one more time to just add some more length to the foot. Otherwise, you could just like stop on this side now and you would be in the middle. But we're going to keep going, like I said, just to make the foot a little bigger. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of modification would have you end up in a different place. But like we said, you can do whatever you want. So the only important part is to put the last stitch in the middle here. So now we're getting close. All right, so there is the middle. So that was 23. And now we want to place the marker in the next stitch. This is gonna stay here for a little while, all right? So we're not gonna move this every row anymore. So you're gonna chain one and turn. This is now, instead of going in rounds, we're gonna go in rows. So I chained one and now I turn. And starting from the second chain from the hook, so this right here is the first one, that was our turning chain. We're gonna go in this one, always, when we do a row. So every row is just 12 half double crochet. I'm gonna do 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is like halfway around the foot. 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, didn't quite get that one. 12. All right, so what we're doing now is, this is like the pole is gonna be here, and this flap, we're gonna build a flap here that's gonna come this way, and we're gonna build another flap here that's gonna come this way around the pole. So we should be doing half of the ankle or the heel sort of at this point. So we did 12, we're gonna chain one and turn, and that's it. We're gonna do 12 half double crochet just across to here again. And we're gonna keep doing that back and forth until the height from this marker, the height of these rows that you're gonna be building up as you repeat these 12 half double crochet rows, the height from here of these rows, so from this line here, is halfway around the pole, right? Because each of these flaps goes halfway around. So if you make it too long, no problem. Just like I think Susan said in the forums, you can just overlap it around the back of the pole if it's too big. If it's too short and doesn't reach around the back of the pole, you can just, like, you know, when you sew it up, you can lace it like a shoe, so you can, you know, hide a little bit if it's too short. All right, so keep repeating this row back and forth until you get to halfway around the distance of your pole, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so here we are. I have finished repeating that last row of 12 half double crochet until the height of my repeated rows measured from my marker is gonna reach halfway around my pole. So my pole is about 6 inches around, so these squares each 3 inches. So I've got about 3 inches of height. I always like to err on the side of making it too short anyway, because that way it's nice and snug if you have to stretch it onto the pole a little bit, and it's gonna stretch over time too. Okay, so at this point we're gonna break off the yarn, and if you just pull this loop all the way through, it's nice and secure. And we're gonna join the yarn at the marker. So there we go. I'm just gonna pull up a loop and chain one with, I kind of chain one with both ends, and that kind of secures it. That's how I like to join. But join however you like to. All right, and now we're gonna start a row of 12 half double crochet on this side. Ooh, did that too tight. So I'm just gonna pretend that this isn't here and do my first half double crochet right in that stitch again. And there's one. I'm gonna keep doing 12 till I get to the other side, and then chain one and turn, and keep repeating this row until the height of these repeats is the same as this one, so it matches. All right, see you back when I'm done. All right, here we are. I've repeated that row to the same height, so I'm just gonna cut my yarn, pull up a loop, and be done. Because we're gonna start next week in a certain place, and you might have ended up in a different place. So go ahead and cut your yarn and finish. All right, and that's it for week 3. Woohoo! So do the same thing for the other one, and we'll see you next week.